With Jesse Simonton, Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com. 2-minute drill. Jeremy Pruitt meeting the media to kick off game week for Tennessee against Georgia State. We'll start with just the news items. First of all, Bryce Thompson suspended indefinitely. He had no other comment on that. Aubrey Solomon, status quo. There's nothing new, but they're going to keep repping him like he's going to play.
Yeah, it was a lot of housekeeping stuff for Pruitt, on week one with game day, 5 or 6 days away. He did note that, they were going to keep practicing like Solomon was going to play. And I think Tennessee's hopeful they'll have some information by tomorrow, perhaps at the latest on Wednesday. We'll see. Thought it was also notable Trey Smith listed on the depth chart. Pruitt also intimated that Smith had maybe been, contact at times for a couple practices. Said he and the doctors are still kind of working through the best plan and that Smith would be a game-time decision. But I think we all agree that it's likely we're going to see 73 out there against Georgia State on Saturday.
And it's likely we're going to see a lot of people out there on Saturday. Coach Pruitt was very complimentary of Georgia State and some of the challenges they present, but he was also quick to point out a lot of combinations they want to see in the secondary, a lot of combinations of people on the offensive line, a lot of oars on the depth chart on the defensive line, kind of going to let it play itself out in week one, it seems like.
Yeah, on the depth chart they released, there wasn't a single defined starter on the offensive or defensive lines. And even on, Brandon Kennedy's not starting at center. I think Brandon Kennedy's starting at center. But they're still trying to kind of continue to preach that competition. That he talked a lot about, how does this team respond to adversity. I think, defensively, you're going to see them rotate all 10 of those guys. We'll see how many of the offensive linemen play what I would consider, crucial snaps. But I think they really don't have an idea of what they're going to do defensively. And with the caveat they don't know about Solomon, I think you're going to see a mass rotation there.
3 starters listed in the secondary. No surprise there. With Bryce Thompson out, I think Warren Burrell gets that start. Schamberger will start at the star position. We'll see how where it goes from there. On the offensive side, pretty defined with the wide receivers, tight ends, quarterback position, and surprisingly, starter named at running back too with Ty Chandler.
Yeah, starter named at running back. Jeremy Banks still listed at running back on the depth chart, but I think we expect him to play defense. There was 18 oars, I think, for 24 positions, and I don't even think you can really make fun of it this time because I think there really are that many unknowns. Also, you and I have talked about this a bunch, podcasts, 2-minute drills, written pieces. For all the talk about Tennessee's returning experience, they have 16 newcomers on this 2 deep. I think that kind of shows you, the balance that Pruitt's, dealing with right now versus some of the returning guys, but the new guys are coming on big time.
Well, we'll see where those new guys are this week as they hit the field for the first time on Saturday against an opponent. Daniel Petulli will not go, is not expected to go after having that knee scoped. That means Henry To'oto likely to call the signals for Tennessee. Interesting for a true freshman to do that. For Jesse Simonton, I'm Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com.